Tools like Lovable and Cursor have stripped away the traditional barriers to entry. You no longer need to understand programming syntax to launch a fully functional SaaS application in a single weekend. But that velocity creates an immediate vulnerability. If a complex application can be built in 48 hours using plain English, a competitor can use those same AI models to clone and undercut your entire product by Monday afternoon. This chart tracks the shifting economics of software. The cost to write code is plummeting, while the risk of being cloned shoots upwards. At this intersection, the codebase reaches a threshold of commoditization. Raw code no longer functions as a defensible asset. This reality has effectively ended the viability of the generic AI wrapper. To build a business that survives past launch day, you have to find a competitive advantage that AI cannot generate on demand. The most successful software companies in 2026 are vertical micro-SaaS tools. They solve narrow, industry-specific problems that require a depth of context general AI simply doesn't possess. Enterprise leaders aren't ignoring this shift. Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff recently dismissed the SaaS apocalypse panic, pointing out that established software provides security, compliance, and reliability guarantees that transcend basic code generation. This is the invisible 20%. It's the proprietary data, the complex system integrations, and the elite product taste that a weekend vibe coner cannot replicate with a single prompt. To find the right path, we're evaluating the top vertical niches by weighing the technical maintenance required against the strength of the defensibility you're building. Winning requires moving past the weekend project mindset. You need to operate as an architect-operator, focusing on the specialized logic that makes software indispensable to a professional user. Our first category involves regulated tech and workflow autopilots. Lucrative examples include AI legal burst editors for law firms, logistics compliance reporting, and medical clinical note generators for healthcare providers. This quadrant chart shows how these niches stack up. RegTech sits high on the defensibility axis. It demands deep industry knowledge, a general AI can't easily replicate. You earn a high willingness to pay by encoding specialized legal logic into the app's context, providing regulatory reliability. But there's a trade-off: comprehension debt. If you vibe code your way into a complex system, you might not understand how the AI reached its conclusions. If the AI hallucinates a medical diagnosis or misses a legal filing deadline, you are the one responsible for the fallout, even if you didn't write the code line by line. This is why these niches require a strict, human-in-the-loop security architecture. They are incredibly defensible, but they are high-stakes environments that demand expert oversight. Category 2 is data-first micro-SaaS. Think local SEO auditors like GeoSentinel, predictive maintenance for factory floor equipment, or specialized real estate valuation tools. On our chart, we plot these tools far to the right. Maintenance effort is higher because they rely on messy, real-world data sources. Wiring your application into fragmented databases creates a physical barrier to entry called the data mount. Generic models bounce off this wall. The trade-off is glamorous. You will spend most of your time managing broken API connections and parsing inconsistent datasets, rather than building new user-facing features. But that friction is exactly why you're safe. Most vibe coders will abandon a project when the data gets messy. Surviving here means doing the difficult work your competitors ignore. Our final category is the creator and freelance utility. These include micro-influencer ROI predictors, specialized fitness CRMs, and tools that repurpose long-form video into localized social clips. These sit in the middle of the pack on both axes. They are easier to build than data-first tools, but less inherently defensible than RegTech. To protect yourself here, you have to explicitly reject default AI interfaces. You win by mastering custom design systems, like spatial UI or tactile maximalism, that build a genuine emotional connection with the user. Your workload here is a relentless cycle of iteration on aesthetic details and a heavy investment in programmatic SEO to maintain your distribution edge. In this niche, your product taste and brand identity are the primary moats. Users won't switch to a cheaper AI clone if that clone feels clinical and soulless compared to your tool. Match your background to your unfair advantage. Domain experts win in RegTech through industry knowledge, but risk neglecting security. Architect operators thrive in creator utilities via brand psychology, but often ignore SEO. Indie hackers excel in data-first micro-SaaS using systems thinking, but risk wasting time on boilerplate code. Aligning your SaaS choice with your non-coding skills is the only way to safeguard your business against the speed of vibe coding. The truth of the intent economy is simple. Engineering hasn't disappeared. It has just moved to a higher level of thinking. Look at Lovable. By focusing on product-led growth and community wins, they reached $50 million in annual recurring revenue in just 6 months. Success now requires mastering 3 things: context engineering, organic distribution, and a highly refined product taste. You cannot build a durable business by prompting a generic dashboard over the weekend. You build it by investigating the messy edge cases and customer anomalies that AI doesn't see. The ultimate winner isn't the person who generates code the fastest. It's the one who understands the invisible 20% of their customer's problem better than anyone else.